Well, hi everyone. I'm here today with some of my patrons, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a talk today about healing, but first a healing meditation. This is a healing meditation that I've designed so that you can use it on yourself, or you can use it on others, and you can use it on the world as such. So it embraces all of these ideas. And if you come back to this later, the residual energy of this healing will build, and it means that we generate an energy that becomes a force in itself for good. So let's start straight away with the healing meditation. So I'd like you all to find a comfortable, quiet place, or be sat now and sink into your seat. Get comfortable. Some of you might lie down and close your eyes and relax now as you begin to let the pressures of the day fall away. A good way to do this is to take some deep breaths and allow yourself to relax completely. As you focus on your breathing, feel your body becoming a little more heavier as it becomes more relaxed, particularly with each exhale. Breathe deeply and enjoy this moment of peace, this moment for just you, where you can relax, be at peace, and find inner healing. So now I'd like you to visualize a beautiful radiant light above your head. This light is filled with pure love and healing energy. See how it streams down from above you and towards you, and feel its warmth and brightness. Feel it enveloping your entire body. Beautiful, clear, divine light. Endless light. Inexhaustible. Now imagine that you are now standing in a field of flowers. You're surrounded by a riot of colours and scents. As you breathe deeply, see the flowers beginning to open. And as they do, they reveal their beauty to the world. Each flower represents a different aspect of your being. And as they open, you feel yourself becoming more and more fully alive and present in this moment. As you continue to breathe deeply, see the light expanding beyond you to reach your family and friends. You are filled with healing light, but now so are they. See each of them surrounded by this same beautiful, radiant light. In a beautiful place, glorious, happy place, with an energy of hope and healing and love. See their faces now in your mind's eye, and feel their love and energy merging with yours as you project the healing that's coming through you to the healing to them. Share in divine healing. Be with the light. There is no illness. It's all gone. You can only see health light, love, and inexhaustible vitality. Their faces, like yours, are happy and alive. Healing power is flowing to them now. It's a real energy. It's a real life force. Now imagine this light expanding even further. Let the light expand from you all until it encompasses the entire world and all sentient beings. See how it flows into every corner of the globe, bringing healing, bringing love, and bringing peace to all who need it. See the world being healed by universal healing light. In the troubled places of the world, we see flowers of light opening to spread the fragrance of peace and hope. Whoever may join this meditation, we ask that you help to build this light. Together we build on this residual energy. We see the world becoming a better place for all. As you continue to breathe deeply, feel yourself becoming one with this light. Allow yourself to be filled with this healing energy and feel its warmth and brightness washing away any remaining tensions or stress within you. You're feeling alive, you're feeling as you should be. Everything is bathed in divine light, light upon light. All is one, in perfect health and perfect vitality. Harmony is restored. Now visualize a group of healing spirits and angelic beings of light surrounding you. Let them draw close. Let them connect with you. Each one is radiating love and compassion. See them taking your hands or placing their hands on your shoulders and feel their healing energy flowing into your body. Connect with them. Ask them to reveal themselves to you. Ask them to connect you to your own powers of healing, to help you to heal and be healed. Stay in this place for a few moments. Now see yourself standing on a mountaintop with breathtaking views, stretching out in all directions. The air is fresh and clean, and the sun shines down on you. You feel a sense of calm and peace spreading through your entire being. See the world and all sentient beings being filled with this same light, and see and feel the healing spirits and the angelic beings of light spreading their light and healing and love across the world, healing and transforming all who need it. You are now floating in this sea of light, surrounded by the healing spirits and angelic beings of light, feeling completely at peace and at one with the universe. Allow yourself to fully absorb this healing energy, knowing that it will continue to nourish and support you long after this meditation is over. Absorb the healing. Let yourself be well. Let your body, let your mind, let your soul be in its natural state of perfect harmony and health. Now, when you're ready to return to your day, slowly we can open our eyes again and take a few more breaths, knowing that you can come back to this visualization any time you need to, and you can feel your connection with the healing energy of the universe, and you can share this energy with your loved ones too, and all sentient beings, and once again be connected with the healing spirits and the angelic beings of light that you've attempted to connect with today. You're drawing them towards yourself. They will always be there for you, ready to help, ready to heal. And in your own time, please come back and back to normal consciousness, guys. So thank you for sharing those few moments with me. And I think we can now perhaps discuss a little bit about spiritual healing, how it works. And I can perhaps give you a few ideas and a few tips about healing, and take your questions as we go. So we've got a few patrons with us here today, so I'm going to pull some of you in. Let me just say a few things first. If we are ever projecting healing with this meditation or any other form of meditation, it's always one of the most important things with healing is, first of all, to remember it's real, because we are drawing real energy, not from ourselves. We're drawing it from the divine. Yogananda always said that there was two forms of prana. There's the prana of the body, which takes different forms, but there's the prana of the body, which is a life trons, he called it, the life force. But there's also the universal life force, the universal prana, the universal life trons, which you can also draw from. So when we're healing, we don't give from our own energy, we draw from the healing of the universe, as it were. And it's always important to understand that wherever thought goes, energy will follow. And thought also goes outside of our body. So when we're healing absently, as well as healing ourselves, we must always make that thought positive, make that thought powerful. And so, for example, we never see the person. If somebody's ill, somebody has cancer or something, and we want to send healing to them, we don't see the cancer. We only see the health. We only see them looking healthy and fit and happy. We don't worry about their suffering. We don't want to send thoughts of worry and charge energy on that. We always send this like positivity of energy. And the more we do that, the more the energy will build with them. And that's how we heal them. And that's how we heal ourselves. We don't think about the illness. We think about the health. We think about the body becoming healthy, as being healthy. It's almost like an affirmation, a statement of health. And this is a very, very powerful siddhi. This is a powerful siddhi that can bring healing. It can even bring healing just by the way you look at someone. The power in your eyes can even bring healing, because you're projecting all the time our thoughts, our feelings, and our love. So that's number one. Anyway, just one thought. So I'm going to bring some of you in. I'm going to bring Sheila in first, if that's all right, Sheila, because I know you're good at talking about things. Just any thoughts about what we've said today? Any thoughts about healing, and how did you get on with that meditation? You're muted. Hold on, I'll unmute you. There we are.
Okay. I thoroughly enjoy the meditations because, for a start, they help relax me. And like many people who might be a parent or a mother or a are working. There's a lot of buzz going around, so it really helps ground me. I wanted to ask you, what do you feel about healing through sound energy? Because from the last meditations you were doing, I started practicing on a daily basis, doing Om. And what I'm finding is that, I don't know how to describe it. I can't say the pitch, but the resonance that I'm getting, I'm feeling a connection. It's taken a long time. I would say it's taken at least a month, but there's definitely something there which is connecting me. I wondered, because, you hear about sound that can heal. There's some scientific evidence for it as well.
Yeah.
Can you give me some advice on that?
Okay, certain frequencies align with the brain's frequencies too, which can certain sounds, particularly some of the sounds. They reckon the sounds that were in the sitar music and the octaves of the Indian music correspond with the sounds of the body and the internal spiritual body, as it were. So everything's vibrating, as we know. Everything's a vibration. All existence is a vibration of the one, and so inside ourselves, everything's a vibration, and that can be expressed as sound. And the great seers of old listened to the inner sound of the body, listened to the inner sound of the universe itself that resonates through us. And I suppose the sound Om, how I think of it is, I think of that as the sound of the Big Bang. It's the first sound. It's the universal sound. It's the background sound of all existence. So we always say Om first before we say another prayer, because it's like the universe, it's God itself, it's the beginning, it's the end, it's the start, it's all, it's the one sound. So the very sound Om can be one of the most powerful sounds that we can use for internal healing. So for example, in fact, I might put a few Oms in the background on that little healing thing I did when I reproduce it. So people watching it would have already heard this now. But when we do an Om and we do a mantra, which I think I'll also put those in the background as well, since you brought this up, it's a good idea. Those sounds can have a very positive effect on our body, and they can open up the spiritual body as well as heal it. So, for example, we can internalize the sound of Om. And we can do that by one technique, and I can't remember if I showed you this one last time I did, where you basically put your fingers in your ears like that and close your eyes basically, and then do an Om with fingers in your ears. So you got Om. Now, if you were to try that yourself, you would feel that it's like being in a great temple of sound, because what it starts to do is it resonates inwardly, and it resonates in the skull and everything. And this is a very powerful way of internalizing a sound of mantra, which can be a healing energy. And we can even move that sound around the body. So, for example, I've spoken before about what they call nyasan, which is placing the attention around the body, and it comes up in the form of yoga nidra, which is a form of yoga sleep. But basically there's techniques which I've shown before, which I will show in more detail later, where we can move. I do this with the people that come to me for the private teachings a lot, that I teach to internalize the body, internalize the movement around the body, but then to add sound to it, to add the mantra Om itself. So we're basically moving Om up through our hands, up through our arms, down our back, down to our feet, up, basically circulating a sound by internally imagining it. Some people work better with sound than they do with pictures of light, for example. People are, geared up towards being visually orientated or sound orientated or tactile orientated, and different things can work differently for different people. And indeed, even in the spinal system and the chakras, each chakra has a sound, because this is the energy of the internal sounds of the spine itself. So we have the bija mantras that run up the spine, which when we connect with those and resonate with those, particularly inwardly, we can start by chanting it, but then we internalize that. So we're saying it to ourselves, and the sound is still there, but we're using our imagination to make that sound, or connect with the sound that's already there, then we can release very, very powerful forces in the body. And those forces can be used for healing ourselves, for opening up our spinal column, opening up the Kundalini in a safe way, and also can also be projected to other people as well. So it's incredible, really, that sound has far, far more to it than we could ever possibly know. The ancients, they knew, the ancient Sumerians, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Indians, the ancient Chinese, all knew about the power of sound, not just to help us to heal ourselves and do these lovely things, but also even to lift objects and things like that. So it has a tremendous power. Yeah. So
Yeah, fabulous. I hope one time, Craig, you can do a show where we can learn how to use sound to heal ourselves more.
yeah,
Just
let's do
if
one.
we have something, then we can practice, because I feel such an ignoramus. I mean, it is part of the Hindu culture, this Om, but I've realized now how powerful it is. I wouldn't say I'm at healing level, but definitely I can hear that if I don't pronounce it correctly, I don't make a connection.
Yeah,
So I need to get back to that.
I am terrible at the pronunciation of some of my Indian mantras. Sharavana tells me off sometimes, and they do. And you know what it's like in India. You can get in a lot of
Yeah,
trouble if you say the mantras wrong. When you might not be doing yourself exact harm, but you might not be
correct.
actually getting the right energy from it.
Yeah,
And
very true, very true. But I can actually just hear it now. When I make that connection with the Om, I immediately connect with the deity that I'm actually praying to. It's the best way to
yeah,
describe it. But I would love to know how to do it for healing.
yes, well, I'll do something on that, and we can go into something. Maybe we can do a workshop or something just on
Yeah,
mantras, or just on Om, or just on finding the mantra that suits you. Um,
yes.
and I can tell you about some of the simple mantras, the basic mantras that I know from India, and you might, hopefully you can correct me a little bit, Sheila, because I know your father was
Hardly. You know,
a
yeah,
priest.
you know much more than me, Craig.
you
Much,
might
much more.
you might be able to clip me around the ear if I get it wrong for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
It's really
I'll bring
helpful.
another one in actually. And any questions? Let's have Pat. Can I bring you in next, actually? Because I know you've always got some good ideas and thoughts. Any thoughts about the healing? And you've been involved in spiritualism in your time, I think, too, haven't you, Pat?
Well, I've had healing at the Spiritualist Church, but the most recent experience of healing was with somebody in India who was giving me Reiki healing. I injured my knee a few weeks ago. Two big dogs knocked me over and I ended up in hospital. Anyway, he did healing, so it doesn't really matter what the distance is. That's the interesting thing. You
Yeah.
know,
I
you
mean, with
can have
telepathy, it
healing
doesn't
from
matter how
anywhere
far
in the
apart.
world. And, you think, how on earth does that work? But it definitely helped because, once he'd stopped doing the Reiki, I could tell when he'd, done it.
And he did
It
this as
was
absent healing for you.
absent healing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I had to pay him. It wasn't a free service, but I knew I'd had
Everybody's
healing from this man before. And I know
yeah.
he's very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
this is interesting, actually, isn't it? Really, the idea that we can heal people at a distance, because people find that very
yes.
hard. They think
Yeah.
clairvoyance at a distance is a bit. They find it hard because you feel
Yes.
you need to
Yeah.
be with. But I think the internet kind of makes it easier for us to understand now. Because I mean,
Yes.
I've got Sheila there in India, you there in Cornwall, and we've got some others from around the world here talking to us who we're all over the place, but we're connected. And I think
Yes.
when we do a
Yeah.
meditation like that, and people
You
that
can
come in
feel. Yeah. Yeah.
this after it's gone live will also still feel that connection, because there's like even a residual energy that kind of hangs around these things,
Yes. Yeah.
and so we create almost like an energy field that is still there even after even it's only a video, but there's still an energy field that we've created that we can connect again to on the etheric somewhere.
I
So
wonder
not
if
only
sorry, I wonder if it's setting up some vibrations that still remain that are gradually sort of getting smaller and smaller and smaller. as a sound wave would, but when the sound
or
wave
bigger and
starts,
bigger and bigger.
it
The more
starts with a
people,
big sine wave, and then it gradually dies down. So
no, it gets bigger, because what happens is more people connect with it, and the energy that we connect with gets bigger. It's a living
bigger.
thing. It becomes a star, perhaps.
That's
it becomes something
interesting.
that it becomes. You see, we can. Thoughts are things, and thoughts create thought forms. They can create thought forms.
Yeah, tulpas. Yeah,
but we can create healing thought forms too.
Yes,
we can create together. This is where the internet can become a very, very powerful thing, because we can create together. Like, more people will have watched that video, and by the time this is gone up on YouTube, many people may have watched that video, and there's an energy to it. So every time you connect, your energy to that video is increased, but it's not coming from the video. It's coming from something that we've collectively created, what people can give to and take from, because you're giving in that, and you're taking at the same time. So it's this absent healing on steroids, because the internet has the power to create incredible healing energy. You get it in spiritualist churches, you get it in other religions and Christianity, and so where they send healing to people, and you send the thoughts of absent healing, and a small group of people can do that, and it magnifies, because as many of you together become greater than the sum of its parts, as it were. It becomes huge. But when you start putting it on internet, you've got very, very powerful forces that could help to change this world. And we've got, the problem is, we've got an internet at the moment that is generating all the wrong sort of stuff people watch, creating very, very negative energy. So it's just perhaps creating the problems in the world. And it's really important that we have and believe in the fact that there is healing power in our collective thoughts, and that when good people get together like this, and many others join, we really can create something that is.
I think that one thing that everyone could do, every morning I do a little meditation. I do some qigong, which is like a Chinese, like Tai Chi, only it's slightly different. But every morning then I do a little meditation and send out love, peace and healing to the world. Just, keep sending that. And every month I go to our Celtic service, and we do the same thing there. We don't have a meditation, but we have prayer, and we send out love, peace and healing to the world there. We always send out healing to everyone who needs it locally, and then to the whole world. And you can feel that energy when, all of us are joining together, sending out that healing. So, I mean, everybody watching this could just send a little bit of healing every morning.
And it would help the whole world. Yeah. Keep coming back to it. I mean, rewatch the video or do your own thing, And a good way to do it is you start with, and this healing did it like this. You start with yourself, because you need the healing. Then you project your thoughts to your nearest and dearest, the people you love, your family, your wife, your friends, and things like that. And so that's because you can connect with those people easily, because there's love between you all. So you then bring the light out to them. Then you bring the light out to all the people nearby, all the people in your city, perhaps, or in your town, perhaps, or in your country, perhaps, or in the world, and expand, and embrace the whole lot. So it starts with you and it expands outwards, and it's like a ripple effect that goes out and heals all and helps all, and it really does work. Okay, I'm going to leave you there, Pat, and bring in. Thank you for your comments. Valerie, you okay if I just bring you in briefly too? As I know you've got some interesting thoughts. Hi there, Valerie. All right. I know you've been interested in Sai Baba in your time, haven't you? Of course, when people are interested in healing, I would often point them in the direction of Sai Baba sometimes. I've seen incredible healings happen there as well. But I believe he told us to meditate like this, expand it out. I think there's a meditation, I believe, somewhere in it.
And actually, one of his sayings was, "My life is my message. Expansion is my life." And I've just suddenly remembered that, and I thought, what's he mean, expansion is my life? But when he was sending healing out you know, via himself, via the Vedic chanting that they do now every morning. And
yeah. And have you not, in your experiences of India, for example, you've sat with some of the Vedic chanting times, I guess,
yeah,
when you were there, and isn't it a powerful energy? Like Sheila was saying about the power of sound, and how the power of holy sound, such as a mantra or even a prayer. You know, if a person's a Christian, they can do a prayer or an amen, even. That those energies, particularly when people are collected together, can become very, very powerful things.
And it's palpable. And actually, when you were at Sai Baba's ashram as well, you could feel the difference between being inside his ashram area and then going out into the village. So
you were told generally not to go out into the village, because your energy, once you go past through that door out of the ashram, as it were, the energy is totally different. It is. And the same in other ashrams I've been on, you know, the energy almost seems to be within the walls of that place, you know, and that's for you. That's where you can develop and become immersed in divine energy.
Well, we used to go out because in those days there were photographers, the official photographers, so they would take photographs while you were in the especially when Swami was giving speeches, and there was something special, and then you would go out. And there was a story that we were told, that, you know, Swami made a big hospital just outside Puttaparthi, the super speciality hospital.
A free hospital.
There's a huge and absolutely massive chandelier there. I think if you listen to one of the stories, now who was it? Anyway, I'll think of that. But anyway, this chandelier, they were having trouble putting it up to the ceiling, and so they asked Swami help, sort of thing, and he I don't know how he did it, whether he just touched the rope and it went up, but anyway, with his input, this huge chandelier just went up to the ceiling, and they were able to attach it. And I don't know what he did, because I can't remember.
I can't remember the details of the story myself. I have heard of it, actually. I think it was either Isaac Tigert talked about it, or John Hislop, or somebody quite well known spoke about that. And he lifted things with one finger and things like that he's done before. But it shows the power, I think, of what all of us have, really. You know, I mean, we see it in highly evolved beings, but I think we have, and perhaps it's something we've lost, but we have the power to harness the divine, the power to harness vibration. It's very linked in, I think, with the idea of sound, like Sheila was saying here, and the power to heal, as well as damage too, because
you can make that connection go further, because I'm interested in aromatherapy, and to some degree, I mean, I did have a qualification in it at one stage, and when you think that the healing touch through not only the practitioner's hand, but also from the flowers, the essential oil in the flowers, they heal. So going through from the physical, but it can like calm you. So it also, if you have a calm mind, then you're also more in touch with the divine. So you get an energy there.
And that's why the reasons I brought the idea of flowers into the healing meditation I did at the beginning, because flowers are like an expression of life itself, of pure life bursting into life. And they also, of course, I mentioned the fragrance in the meditation, because fragrance is almost like the subtle, the, you know, it's like the divine, but it's inexpressible. It's, we know it's there, we can smell it, it's beautiful, but how do we ever express it? And I think that, I thought that was, I quite like that as bringing the idea of bringing all the senses in.
And
when you do
it's used in India because they use the incense sticks, don't they? And you have all different,
and
especially sandalwood. That's supposed to aid meditation.
Yes, it does. And I think bringing all the senses in, and we've had well, I mean, when my dad died, the house filled with an absolutely beautiful smell, a divine smell that I could hardly, you know, I smelled it, Jane smelled it, we all smelled it, you know, and it was like we felt that was saying that everything's all right, you know. It's like it's like a message as well. It has a power to, I mean, smell evokes emotion, smell evokes memory. Smell, you know, I can remember the smells of something. You can smell something and you think, oh, that reminds me of school or something, you know. A very long connection with us with that. It seems to bypass all the memories and get back to a very deep memory thing too. So I think working with things like aromatherapy, and this is why it can work, is because it's taken us back almost to the earlier mind. You know, it's taken us right back to the very depths of our soul, perhaps when we were much more linked to the smells of the world because we had to for survival. But it also has, I think, it can invoke energy in us as well.
Yeah. And also spirit people, or you know, they will come back with the smell of certain things, and how in fact I was convinced that Swami was around us, me in particular, was through a prayer that I had said. Just a thought that, is Sai Baba a real guru, or is he one of these sham people? And the room filled with the most beautiful aroma that I tracked down as being the smell of vibhuti. And so Swami used to come quite regularly with the smell of vibhuti or sandalwood or jasmine or rose.
Yeah, it has. I've seen it also more recently also as well. I've experienced similar with Sai Baba, but also when we've been to see Sharavana Baba, who we go to see now, and sometimes the smell of vibhuti follows us for days afterwards. You know, there's for some reason that beautiful kind. It's hard to explain smell to anybody, but it's a slight, it's like a gentle perfume smell to it, but it can be very, very persistent. And I think it's like a sign that the divine is with you, whichever. And other gurus must have the same, because vibhuti's been in the Indian system since beginning of time. I must be one of the first things, but it's like the divine smell, and it's like a divine healing and a reminder that we don't have to fear, that we're always protected, that the omnipresent presence of the divine is always around us, whichever path we follow, whether people follow Sai Baba or whether they follow another guru or whether they follow a religion or spiritual teacher or none at all, just want to connect with the idea of the Godhead. When you're often, we get these little messages of hope that can come sometimes, like I say, in a sound inwardly or the smell and so forth. And this is why I think, you know, illness itself is often something to do with a lack of faith in the world in some respects. You know, I'm not talking about faith healing. I'm just saying to know that all is well. We are in harmony. Divine health is ours. We just make mistakes and we go the wrong way with it. But if we just correct ourselves healing can come back to us. Perfect harmony is our birthright. And I think all we've done, I think human beings could live for hundreds of years, actually, if we could get into the right spiritual frame of mind. And I think they did in years ago. Who knows what potential healing powers there are within us that we haven't even begun to get close to, you know, not healing of medical science this time, but the spiritual divine healing powers that we're all capable of and capable of receiving. And I think the example you gave there, the vibhuti, is a good example of when we know we're on the right path, you know. Okay, thank you very much, Valerie. I'm gonna take you off the screen now. So thank you for your contribution there. It's great. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll bring all you patrons back on again, and we can have a collective chat together. So don't go away. But I'm going to conclude the video here for those that have joined on YouTube, who've enjoyed watching and sharing a little bit of a taster of what goes on in the patrons meetings. And if you want to become a patron, have a look in the description below, because you can find out how to become a patron there. And you can join in these events or watch extras and so forth, and help Jane and I to project and progress our work with our spiritual work. So I'm going to say thank you for joining us, those of you on YouTube, and see you again soon. Bye for now. Well, my latest book is called Be Happy. This is all about my trip to India, particularly to see Sharavana Baba and some of the extraordinary things I discovered there. But it's also a bit of an adventure story as well, because it tells the story of how the Indian oracle, the Nadi, showed me how to save the life of my grandson. So it's a very poignant and very important book to me, and I think you'll enjoy the kind of spiritual adventure of it in some ways, and also some of the uplifting stuff about how to be happy in this somewhat unpleasant world sometimes. So it's quite a hopeful book. It's a book that I think you can learn a lot from if you're into the spiritual path.